Hi, I am Nikisha and I am a COVID-19 long hauler. I just got out of a 4-day flare up. I'm hoping that it was only going to be 4 days. Um, but yeah, I just got out of a 4-day flare up. Today is day 5, and so I'm hoping that today I won't be adding um, that on there, but on Thursday of last week, um, May something, I went about my day as usual, normal, um, as a lot of people like to say, but I went about my day as usual with work and with working from home. Um, I took my walk like I normally do, and I thought that everything was fine. Like the rocking that I feel, it it was a little bit worse, but not like a massive amount, like I'm sitting in a rocking chair or swinging back and forth on the swing. It was still it was still there, it's still present, but it wasn't as heavy as it can be. And so I thought everything was fine until about an hour and a half after I went outside and took a walk just so I could, stretch my legs, get some fresh air. Because, working from home, you need to be out in nature. It helps, especially not going somewhere every day for work. So I went for a walk like I normally do, and I came back. I got to work for about an hour and a half, and I knew that I had a meeting that I had to get to at 4:20, and I decided that I needed to go to the restroom, and sometimes I wait until about 10 minutes before, because sometimes when I go to the restroom, I go, then I all of a sudden have to go again, and so I decided to just wait until about 10 minutes before my meeting started at 4:10. Um, and so I waited, and I planted my feet. I'm like, But as soon as I go to stand up, I go, whoa. Um, and my mom, she was sitting in the living room. And my plan was to move my computer to a different room since my mom was in the living room. And then after I came back from the bathroom, that's not what happened. I tried to get to the bathroom. I don't know how long it took me to get there, but I was taking step by step and I just could not do like heel toe. That's how you're supposed to walk. At least that's what they taught me last year. Heel toe. And my mom was saying, okay, heel toe. And so when she would like prompt me to do heel toe, I would do it. And then I was trying to all the other times. When she would prompt me to make it easier to do it, I don't know why. Having that verbal prompt, I guess. And so I tried to get to the restroom. I finally made it after who knows how long. And then I make it back to my computer in the living room. I sit down and 8 minutes has gone by. And from my dining room table to my bathroom is not that far of a walk. It's like less than not 30 minute, but like it's about a 30-second walk. And so I go from the dining room table to the bathroom and back to the dining room table, and it took 8 minutes. And I realized I sat down, I started my meeting, my person was in my meeting, I said, hey, give me 1 second, I will let you back in, because I forgot that I needed to move my computer to a different room to do the meeting. And so I gathered it. I was like, okay, I need to go to a different room. And I asked my mom, like, hey, can you just carry the computer for me? And she's like, sure. So she grabs my computer and then she grabs my hand. And whenever she grabs my hand, she's like guiding me to walk a certain speed. And so as we're running, at least it felt like running to me. So as we're running, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't fall, please don't fall. Because I could not get like my feet to do heel toe for anything. So it was like this cooch type of run. She finally got me there. She was like, yeah, your person would have been waiting for like 15 minutes for you to carry the computer and take yourself to a different room, which was true. And so that was the start of day one. So now I will talk about Friday. I don't really remember much from Friday because I'm filming this a few days later. But I do know when I woke up that it was really hard to get around. And I moved a lot slower than I had been the previous few days. And so when my mom saw me around breakfast time, she kept saying, well, I don't know about like us doing anything tomorrow, or it was something she was saying because she noticed that like I was moving a lot slower, and she's like, well, if you're like this when you wake up in the morning, I'm just gonna start getting really worried because of how bad it was yesterday and then how it um is today, meaning Friday, and as in yesterday it was Thursday. um So I don't know. I went about my day as usual. I did not go for a walk because if my mom was at work, and I'm working from home, then like the whole safety thing comes in, and so I stayed inside. I didn't try to go outside by myself. Like some days I still do, especially um, if it's not that bad, but because of how much help I needed on Thursday, then I thought that it would be a wise decision to wait to go outside. Yeah, so instead of going outside, I opted just to stay in the house. Anytime I do that, I try to walk a little bit extra just to get the practice in. But yeah, I think on Friday, I couldn't really talk to my friends because I just felt like really, really dizzy. And that rocking was pretty bad. And so I couldn't talk on the phone because we normally have our group chat at night and stuff. And so I couldn't really talk on the phone. I was like, hey, I'll call y'all back later. But I never joined the call or anything. Um, I just did not feel well. And so Friday night, after work, I think I just laid on the couch or something. I can't even remember. My mom might be able to give a bit more detail as to what I did on Friday, but I just remember waking up, walking slowly, um, feeling really off, and not feeling well. So, Saturday. Um, Saturday was a much better day. I woke up, I still felt um, just a little bit off, but it wasn't that bad on Saturday. So I woke up, I walked around the house. Typically, when I wake up, it's a lot more difficult to walk, I guess, because for those 7 to 8 hours, my body isn't walking, and so it kind of has to reset itself. It's not a full reset like last year when I had to relearn how to walk. It's just um, getting my body back used to moving after not moving for a while, which I know most people, when you wake up, you might move a bit slower. Um, and so that's typically what happens. Like I move a lot more slowly, and then just getting my feet to do heel toe, like I talked about um, on the little snippet about Thursday, just making sure that I'm walking properly. It just takes a little while to get used to moving again because normally, or I used to pre COVID, just, get out of bed um, and just go. But it's not like that anymore. So Saturday I woke up, I felt a lot better. I didn't feel too cloudy in my head and everything. The rocking was a lot softer, and we babysat that day, and I was glad that I felt better so I could babysit, because that's fun. I like being a professional Keisha, so that just means that I'm a professional aunt. That's my favorite job. But we ate breakfast. I think I cooked for my mom. I don't remember what I cooked though, but I think I made breakfast. I did not make breakfast. I ordered breakfast for us because as soon as I woke up, she's like, "Hey, order something from Jack's or McDonald's, or not McDonald's, but like Jack's or Chick-fil-A or something." And so I ordered us some McDonald's. And yeah, I definitely did not cook. So I ordered our food. We ate together. Like, I was talking to her, communicating, so that was better than the previous days. And so she felt a lot better. She wasn't too worried. She's like, okay, you look like you're having a good day, physically. So that was great. So we went ahead and ate our breakfast, got our clothes on and everything. I picked out a cute dress to wear that I haven't worn before. Has little, I think it has little yellow flowers on it. It's like a checkered pattern or a black and white gingham pattern. I don't know what to call it really. It was really cute. I felt cute. And we went out to a few stores. I know we went to a Burlington and JCPenney. Where else did we go? I can't remember where else we went. But we went out, we walked around, and I was fine to keep going, surprisingly, because normally it is not like that. When we go out and about, like shopping or just looking. And so I was actually fine staying out, but we had to get gas, and then our little person went to sleep. And so to make sure that they could take their nap back at the house, we started heading home. And so, yeah, and then once we got home, it was a little bit different. So when we came home on Saturday, I still felt okay, but I could feel myself slowing down a little bit. And so I slowed down just a tiny bit, but it still wasn't that bad. But after a while, I started to get a headache, and we were still babysitting. So our little person was over here, and I decided to just like go work in my room instead of going to lay down in my bed, just to pick up and sort my craft supplies and whatnot. So I did that for a while, but the headache it kept intensifying, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. And I didn't take any Tylenol at that time. At least I don't remember if I took any, but I do know once I finally got ready for bed and everything, it was really late because I think my mom stayed up that night, and so I decided to stay up with her for quite a bit, which was not a good idea, especially because I had a headache and I was starting to lose steam and slow down. And so that was Saturday night. I went to bed with an awful headache. My friends had called, and I did not talk to them because the headache was so bad. Again, but I still didn't go to sleep, which wasn't the best idea, but I did end up taking Tylenol before I went to sleep. And yeah. And when I got up on Sunday morning. I opened my eyes and it just felt like I was taking a nap on a boat. And then I opened my eyes. That's what it felt like. That was really uncomfortable. And it just seems like the longer my eyes are open, the worse it felt. Um, and then also imagine that you're on a hammock and the wind is blowing a lot. And you're just going back and forth. And so I could feel that. And so I'm like, well, this is going to be interesting. So I go to put my feet on the floor. And I can tell because of how intense that rocking sensation was that by the time I put my feet on the floor, I'm like, well, this is going to be a fantastic day of walking. And of course it wasn't. And so I go to walk and I couldn't go without holding on to anything or just going a bit slower, because if I try to go at my normal speed, then I start walking to the side and not walking straight, or my feet start spreading apart like they don't, like I don't walk with my feet together, or they scooch. There's a lot that happens. So yeah, and my mom, she was like, "Oh no." Like she was really worried by the time, because I walked to say good morning to her and she was really worried. And so what I did, I just went to the restroom, went to say good morning, went back to my bed, cut on church because my church has a live stream. And when I just laid there for a while, then I got up and I believe that I ate breakfast. I think that I ate breakfast on Sunday. Yeah. And after I ate breakfast, I went and I took a nap for a few hours. Yeah. And so by Sunday night, it was still, I think it was still pretty bad. But again, I need to ask my mom just to double check. Because I think it had gotten a little bit better. Like I could walk a little bit better, but it was still not at the level that I normally would walk. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, so that was the flare up. Let me count the days. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, the 4-day flare up. That was the 4-day flare up this time from having COVID in January of 2021. And now we are in May of 2022.